So the research problem for this study was that this study addresses the need to understand the influence of mental boundaries, which is a personality dimension rooted in early psychological concepts, on how individuals perceive stress. The research problem stems from the lack of empirical evidence exploring the influence of mental boundaries. The aim of this research is to assess the impact of thick and thin mental boundaries on perceived stress among undergraduate college students. Specifically, the study aims to investigate how variations in mental boundary thickness relates to differences in the way individual perceive stress.
Okay.
So, coming to the results, in the results I was seeing that there is gender differences with female students exhibiting thinner mental boundaries than their male counterparts, and students with lower scores in PSS were found to correlate with BQ subscales as well. So there was a difference, and I was very happy to see that. See, every researcher faces some sort of challenges, so some of them are very common. But for me specifically, mental boundaries, the one of the variables in my research, that variable is not a well-researched personality dimension.
Hmm.
So most of the research considering boundaries in this context was basically related to dream recall. So
Okay.
therefore, finding relevant literature was the biggest challenge because my research was using it as a personality dimension to see if it affects perceived stress.
Hmm.
But most of the research done until now was based on how it helps people. The people with thinner boundaries or thicker boundaries are easier. It's easy for them to recall their dreams and nightmares and how it is related to the subconscious. So it was very difficult for me to find literature that I can use to
Yeah.
fill a foundation of my research. This particular research was mainly a bud paper for my thesis.
Hmm.
So, my interest in mental boundaries as a variable was developed by early findings of Freud.
Hmm.
Freud described boundaries in his later career. So, when attempting to explain variability among personality types, Freud and his followers discussed a barrier, protecting an organism against unwanted or harmful stimulation.
Hmm.
When this barrier is permeable or broken, the mind cannot handle the ensuing traumatic extension.
Hmm.
So I was curious to see what this barrier is. So as I started to do more research on it, it was found that this is something that Hartman defined as boundaries. So I was
Okay.
very curious, is that seriously a thing that we all have? Is there something in our personality that can help us being immune to certain stresses? So I was very curious for that. So that's how I started my research on this topic. Although I am doing my PhD and it's just the second year of my PhD, I am not necessarily new to research because I have done my bachelor's and master's from psychology. And in
Okay.
psychology, I've been doing research since my bachelor's. So it's been a while. So I do have certain advice.
Hmm.
The first advice would be that while choosing the area of research, make sure that you are interested in and curious about that area. So,
Hmm.
research is a very on hand, all in process. You might find yourself burned out quickly if the area is not up to your liking.
Yeah.
Second advice would be that make sure that the source of research paper is credible. Whenever you're reviewing literature, make sure that it's a credible thing that you're reviewing. And sections in the research where is methodology part, make sure you pay attention to that because that can help you plan out your statistical analysis and design. And there is a website that I like to mention, Connected Papers.
Hmm.
So if you want to find connected research papers while searching for papers to review, you
Hmm.
should use this website as it can map out similar papers with links. So this helps to search for relevant research papers more easily. Just insert a root paper in the system which is already relevant to your research and you can go on from there. Yeah. One last thing, while writing your paper, don't try to be perfect from the start. That is something I suffered from in the beginning. So sometimes striving for perfection while drafting the paper can prevent you from making progress or even start writing. So be free, keep things simple. You can always edit and perfect things later. Oh. I had a remarkable experience at the research conference where the diverse range of topics and presentations proved to be very insightful. The engaging discussion about how to be calm under pressure provided a valuable platform for knowledge exchange. The well organized event fostered a collaborative atmosphere, so I was very thankful for that. The seamless execution by the organizers ensured a smooth and enriching conference experience. I look forward to be participating in future editions and continuing to be a part of this dynamic Eurasia research community.